Good morning, grade nines, and welcome to today's lesson on a Friday. We are still busy with finance, and we are going to look specifically today at simple interest. Okay, so interest is the money that is paid for the use of money lent or borrowed. Okay, to explain that a little bit better is when you borrow money from the bank in the form of a loan, you will have to pay the money back over an agreed amount, a period of time, together with an additional sum of money called interest. That is for the use of the money borrowed. Nobody's going to borrow you money and say, there you go, it's for free, don't stress, you pay back when you can. No, with money borrowed, you have to pay a charge for that, and that is what we call the interest. But also the same with that is if you are investing money with a bank, they take that money and they reinvest that together with other people's money, and they make more money off of your money. So to give you a thank you or to try to entice you to bank with them, they give you an interest, and they calculate that at an interest rate. So they give you an interest as an additional charge, or sorry, not a charge, an additional amount of money to the money that you invest with them to say thank you. So what happens is they take all the people's money, and the more money they have, obviously the percentage on that money becomes much bigger, and that is why they make more money off of your money. And then to give you sort of a thanks, they paid back to you with an extra little bit of money, which was then the interest. Okay, let's quickly have a look at simple interest, a closer look. You have done this last year, but I would want to explain to you how to work it out manually, because then you understand it a little bit better. Okay, so simple interest is calculated as a percentage per annum per year on the capital, the money deposited into a savings account, or the money borrowed, which is always calculated on the original amount that was invested or borrowed. This is different to compound interest. Compound interest, they add the interest to the amount every year, and then they calculate the interest on that again. With simple interest, it is simple. They calculate the amount, the percentage is always on the original amount. Okay, let's have a look at an example. Gemma received 5,000 Rand from her grandmother one birthday. She decided to be smart and invest this into a savings account, which will pay 15% interest, simple interest, per annum. PA stands for per annum. How much money will she have after 4 years? Okay, so there's the question just again for reference. So how you work out the main things here that stand out is the 5,000 at 15% for 4 years. So you want to work out for every year, she's going to get 15% of that 5,000 Rand. So year one, you work out 15% of that 5,000 Rand gives you 750 Rand. Cha-ching! That is what she got for Mahala, just for investing her money into that bank account. They gave her an additional amount, the interest after year one, 750 Rand. Same with year two. Again, you work out 15% of the original amount of the 5,000, and that gives you another cha-ching, 750. Same with year three, again, cha-ching, 750. And again with year four, cha-ching, 750. Okay, so as you can see, the interest stays the same year after year after year, and that is why it's called the simple interest. It's really easy. All of these amounts are then the interests, and they are added together to give you the total interest that you accumulated over those 4 years, and that would be 3,000 Rand. But because they ask you how much money will they have in total, you have to add that money, the interest, to the original amount that you've put into that bank account. So 3,000 plus the 5,000 gives you a total sum of 8,000 Rand. Let's quickly have a look at another one, just to show you it works exactly the same as when you invest money as when you are borrowing money. Okay, so Runic borrows 10,000 Rand from the bank to repay a study loan. The bank gave him the following offer. they will charge him 9% simple interest per annum. And he wants to know how much must he pay back in total after the 3 years. So again, you're going to start year one. They're going to charge him 9% of that 10,000 Rand, which is an additional charge now that he owes 900 Rand. Same with year two, a build up again of another 900 Rand owed because he borrowed the money. Hey, year three, another 9% owed to them, 900 Rand. So at the end of the 3 years, in total, he will have to pay an additional charge of the interest of 2,700 Rand. So how much must he pay back in total? The 2,700 Rand interest plus the original amount that he borrowed, the 10,000, and that gives you 12,700 Rand. Okay, but you know that there is an easier way. No, you know that there's a formula we can use. All right, and the formula is the simple interest is A is equal to P times 1 plus I times N. All right, and what do all these lovely letters stand for? A is the future amount that you will have at the end of your investment, or it's the total amount that you have to repay at the end of your period of borrowing the money. Okay, so A is the future amount of money. P is the present amount of money, the principal amount that you borrow or that you invest. The I is the interest, but please, people, it's always written as a decimal. So you have to divide your interest. So if they say to you 9%, you have to write it as 9 divided by 100, which gives you 0,09. Okay, so please, it must be written as a decimal. And the N is the number of years that you borrowed the money or that you invested the money for. Okay, so let's have a look. When we use the simple interest formula, does it give us the same amount as what we did when we did the question manually, when we worked it out year for year? Okay, so if you have A is equal to P, 1 plus I times N. So now when we look at Gemma, remember she invested 5,000 Rand. So the principal amount that she's investing now currently is 5,000 Rand. The interest was 15%, written as a decimal. So 15 divided by 100 is 0,15, and the number of years are 4, or the number of years is 4. Okay, then the total amount, if you punch that into your calculator, can you see that it will give you the total amount? A is the future amount, is the 8,000 Rand. Okay, so you must just remember, if they ask you what was just the interest accumulated on this investment, you would have to say, well, it's the future amount minus the original amount that you invested, which will give you then, in this case, 3,000 Rand. So it's the future amount, your answer, minus what you originally put in, and the difference between the two is 3,000 Rand. Okay, so if you just want the interest, so with the formula, you must remember the future amount is the amount that you will have at the end, including the interest as well, and the original amount that you've put in. Okay. Then let's have a look at Runic. Again, there's your formula. Please, people, you need to know this formula. You're going to use it all the way up to matric, and even it changes a little bit as you go along the way, but there's your basic formula that we're going to use now for grade 9. So A is the future amount, P is the present amount. So what is Runic borrowing at the moment? He's borrowing 10,000 Rand. The interest is 9%, written as a decimal. So 9 divided by 100 gives you 0,09, and the N, the number of years, are 3 years. So if you're going to insert it there into your formula, and you can insert it just like that, 10,000 bracket 1 plus 0,09 times 3 close bracket. Your calculator does the BEDMAS for you, and then you get your answer. Can you see it's the same, 12,700 Rand. So how do I get just the interest? Okay, you say 12,700 Rand minus the amount that you borrowed originally, which was 10,000 Rand, which gave you 2,700 Rand. Cool. Let's have a look at the questions that you need to do for today. I say. And there's all the questions on simple interest, people. It will take you literally 10 minutes to do, or even less. So please have a look. Number 1 to 5, really easy, straightforward questions. Use your formula, insert it, plug it into your calculator, and get your answers. And then the memo is also provided in the to-do list, so mark yourself as well. You must have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you on Monday again. Thanks, guys. Cheerio.